In this day and age, almost everyone is renting because it is almost impossible to buy a home or renovate a home. And I get it, I'm there right with you. But if we're being honest, most rental places are pretty cookie cutter. They look super basic. There's nothing nice about them at all. So I'm gonna share with you my favorite rental upgrades that can be applied to your space and even if you own a home as well. So this one is a little unexpected, but it is the outlets and the switch covers throughout your entire space. Most of the time, these are so standardized and they come in the 5-pack from Home Depot from like $4.99. They are white and most of the time they end up yellowing if you have any sun exposure. They're dirty, they're grimy, and this is one of those pieces in your home that you are touching every single day. This is where you can add in that heightened sense of luxury that really feels so good because it's a tactile experience. There are so many on the market. There are the high-end ones, there are mid-tier, and there are low-end. Even swapping things out to a matte black if you have a darker painted wall finish or a black look so chic. The last thing you want on a dark painted wall is to see a white outlet and a white cover for your switches. Like, they don't look good. Swapping these out is such a minuscule change that really can make a huge impact in your space. And most of the time, these are super easy to replace yourself. If you are doing it though, I do not want anyone suing me. So please turn off your circuit breaker and make sure the power is actually off before you swap these. And if you are looking for larger one, they are called a gang. It is a 1 gang, a 2 gang, a 3 gang, and a 4 gang. I know it's a super weird name, but that's what to search for if you're looking for those cover outlets to match the numbers that you need. Most rental properties these days are open concept, and there are the pros and cons of all of these kind of designs. But in my opinion, rugs are going to be the best investment in any space, whether you rent or own. Rugs are fantastic because they not only zone and isolate the separate designed areas, but they are great for sound transfer out the entire room. Whether they are in your bedroom or your living room, they really help absorb that extra sound in the space so it's not reflecting off a hardwood, a wall, and the ceiling. Because if you live in a condo, everything is concrete, everything is metal, and everything is drywall. Everything is super reflective and loud, and sometimes you can even hear your neighbors clapping as they watch the Oscars. Rugs not only zone these areas, but they can also amplify your overall interior design style itself. I'm not talking about just buying those regular colorful ones. Find something that has a pattern, something that has a scale to it, something that draws your attention down, and then you use the rest of your elements like your furniture, your art, your mirrors to help draw your eye up so the entire space is an experience. I know this is a hot take because not everyone is qualified to do this, but also not everyone knows how to do it, but it is super easy, and it is swapping out those basic light fixtures. I bet $100 if you're looking in your rental space right now, you have a boob light, or you have something that is so close to a boob light and it really doesn't look great. We all do not like the big light. It has become a generational phenomenon that we do not use the big light. We want table lights, we want wall sconces, we want floor lights to bring that low level light down for a space to feel cozy and intimate. If you do not have that opportunity, this is where you find a nice chandelier or a nice pendant to bring that light level down to also create that visual aspect in a space that looks really good and can match your interior design style. The amount of rental properties that I've seen that are so beautifully furnished and designed, and then you see a boob light. I was like, you're telling me you didn't swap that out, but you brought in every other element to really curate the space. This is an unforgotten area that a lot of people really lack in, and you can swap these out super easily. The old one, the boob light, whatever it is, wrap it in a plastic bag, put it into storage, put it underneath your bed so it's safe there. Light fixtures you can bring with you home to home if you're always moving around. This is something that I always believe is worth investing in because they always look good. It's come to my attention that in the States, sometimes you can't actually paint your rental space, which is absolutely wild to me. In Canada, at least, if you are there for more than 2 years, they are legally obligated to repaint the space before the new tenant comes in. So there's obviously a disconnect there. But paint and wallpaper are the single most easiest way to change up the entire space and the entire vibe of your home. Whether it be a dark paint, a light paint, something with a beautiful undertone to match your furniture, or a bold wallpaper in your powder room, or even in your bedroom to make a statement, to make the space feel cozy, is the easiest thing to do. You can get the peel and stick. If you are worried about the peel and stick, you can always put up contact paper first so everything comes off without damaging. If you are worried about getting your security deposit back, repaint it white. It is one of the easiest things you can do, and paint is also the most affordable way to change up any space, regardless of the brand or the quality. There are so many options out there to make this space feel like home to you. If you're living there, even if it's a rental space, it's still your home. You should still feel comfortable in how you live, and you should still like being there. So I did this in my own space, much like the rest of this list, but it is swapping out that basic builder grade mirror in your bathroom. I bet you anything that it is a 24 by 36 or smaller square or rectangle that looks like crap. And if we're being honest, the edges are probably not finished. And I'm also gonna bet money that if those edges aren't finished, you can start to see the eroding around the edges. That tells me that that mirror is super cheap. It probably costs $10 at Home Depot to literally glue it to the wall. Please replace these. Do yourself a favor, because there are so many beautiful designs, elements, and shapes that you can bring to this mirror to make your bathroom already look 100 times better by just replacing that mirror. If you do take this down though, and you do need to put it back up afterwards, take painter's tape, square it off all the way around, put a bunch of X's on it to make sure it's secure. So when you do pull it off, it stays intact and it's less likely to break. If, God forbid, it does break, these you can literally replace at any hardware store for super cheap, so don't worry about it if it does fall apart. So next on the list is swapping out cabinet hardware. I already talked about those cover switches and outlets because these are items that you're touching every single day. Think about the tactile experience of feeling something that's not only heavy but luxurious in the design and also the style of how to touch it. There are so many options out there in terms of shape, style, and even color. These make such a huge difference. If you have those basic home hardware or Home Depot ones that are like a 3 or a 4 inch, you can find anything from like CB2, Etsy, if you're looking for brass, if you're looking for matte black, if you want a satin nickel, if you want like a marble piece. The possibilities are endless when it comes to swapping these out. And if you do end up swapping these out, the reference for size is when you open that cabinet, measure from screw to screw. That is going to be the measurement for the handle if you have something longer than just a single pull. This will tell you if it's a 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch. That's usually the standard for these cabinet faces. So whenever you're looking at line and you measure the front, it's probably like a 7 inch. The back is only going to be a 3 or a 4 inch for how they're actually connected into the cabinet. So make that reference before you actually purchase anything. If I'm going to be honest with you, shower faucets are probably the ugliest things on this planet, especially if you are in a rental space. They are the $2.99 or $5.99 pack from a hardware store. I know I'm bashing a lot of hardware stores lately because there are so many cheap options out there, but you can replace the shower head. You do not have to replace the diverter and everything else, but just replacing the head to a larger scale, or even getting that rain head if you have proper water pressure, is going to make your showering experience next level. No one likes sitting in a shower with one of those rental ones that has like 2 or 3 holes, 4 if you know the water calcium hasn't like plugged that one before, but you're sitting there and it feels like you're hit with a water gun. Diffuse that water with a really nice shower head, and trust me, showering is going to become a great experience in your rental space. Last on the list is smart plugs. I will die on this hill. I think they are absolutely fantastic. I have them throughout my entire home. I have them on every single light, every single outlet switch, and every single thing you can put on a timer. This is so great because I have them set up. I come home, if it's after a certain time and it's dark, they automatically turn on. If I leave the house, they all turn off. That is luxury. Convenience at its finest. They're all controlled through an app. I can tell my HomePods to turn them on and off. I can tell areas to turn on. This is so great because I am all about creating an ambient space. And ambient lighting is the perfect representation of how to create a cozy and intimate look, whether it be in your bedroom or your living room. Because if I'm being honest, I know so many people that have beautiful lamps throughout their entire space. They don't even turn them on. You know why? Because you usually have to go all the way back behind where the plug is to turn the switch on and off, and it feels like an inconvenience. If you have these on timers, oh my God, your space instantly looks 1,000 times better by having these lights on because the light level is low and you don't have to inconvenience yourself of turning them off before you go to bed. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want more renter-friendly upgrades, please let me know in the comments below because I feel like I have an endless growing list of things to make your space look really chic, even if you're renting. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and you can always follow me on all my socials at Mr. Phoenix Gray for all my daily tips and tricks. And if you're ever second guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do? Done. Boom.